Good evening. My name is Mara Hayward Thomas, and I am completing my self-introduction speech. I will begin. So, growing up, staying in the house was never an option for me. I was born in Columbia, South Carolina on February 28th, 2001. Before we moved to Charlotte, I was continually surrounded by family and friends. There was always a cookout, always a snowball fight, always a large family gathering, and always something to do on the street that I lived on. Continually being surrounded by family over time made me value these special moments that I had with each and every one of them. Today, I will share some of my family history, but also share some of my most memorable moments that I've had with them. In my family, on my mom's side, I'm of the 8th generation of the Hayward family who has lived in Columbia, South Carolina. In between 1800 through 1810, my ancestors Jim and Tina DeVoe were brought from the Asante Society of Ghana to slavery in America. They bore 7 children, and of the 7, Ephraim DeVoe is of the generational line that my family is from. On my father's side, the Thomas family, little is known about that line. However, my great-grandmother bore 14 children, only 3 of which were actually men. The rest were all girls. So I have over 100 relatives on my father's side, and it seems like I meet new relatives every day. For my grandparents, living in the Deep South during this time was difficult because they mostly farmed and sharecropped. However, each of them persevered. During my childhood, there was always something to do. On my father's side, we had a cookout every month, and it wasn't just a small family gathering. There were cars parked all the way down the street. There were cars parked in the front yard. There were cars parked in the backyard. People would fill up the form rooms of the house. People would fill up the porch. They would fill up the kitchen. They would fill up the dining room. And it was always a good time because we had so many cousins, uncles, and aunts that were there. However, on my mother's side, they were a little more organized. My great-grands and grands didn't have as many kids and had more education and military service. They were the more bougie side, if you could say. One distinct memory that I have with my mom and my family is when we flew to Maryland to have a surprise party for my cousin Tanya, who had just turned 40. If that doesn't scream love and dedication, then I don't know what will. We arrived to my cousin Tanya's house, and there were already multiple other family members who were already there. We waited for her to come through the door, and when she opened the door, we screamed, "Surprise!" Tanya immediately started crying. That was one of my favorite and most memorable memories because it really embodied the love that we share and have for each other. Everything considered, I hope you now realize why I value the presence of family and community. Although I've only shared a couple of memories as well as a brief family history, there is so much more that has came with being a Hayward Thomas. However, I have given you a small sip from the glass of experiences that comprises of my life.